Hello and welcome back to Soulcreek. We will be continuing where we left off, which, if you recall, is after a meeting with the Auto Monks. Well, not even meeting with the Auto Monks. Aeon was the one that did it. Um, they basically said that they're not interested, but they are willing to allow them to use, their equipment if Loken basically goes to investigate this recently activated satellite dish that they call the Rhinestone dish. Um, so Loken was like, okay, fine. Sure. If you're that dead set on figuring out what's going on and we don't really have any other recourse on figuring out what's happening with Alex, we'll do it. Yeah. On their way to basically tell the chief that, they're about to do this, they realize that the mating troop, caravan, whatever, is there, and they run into Logan's special friend. It's named Orion. And yeah, awkwardness. More of Logan's weird personality quirks come out. And at this point, for most of you furries, for most of you people, the relationship is probably going at a normal pace that you will probably find okay. But for me, it's like going a little too fast. But I understand why, at least from Loken's perspective. Personally, I would not be as receptive as Alex is being. But then again, this is a furry visual novel, and one way or another, these two are going to, do it. You guys aren't going to watch it, because I'm going to edit it out. Well, technically the story's going to edit it out for me, but yeah. Anywho, so, now it's time for Alex to go on his first run. And yeah, because they have to go through a black zone in order to get to the Rhinestone dish. But yeah, anyways, so yeah, without further ado, let us continue Soulcreek. When the door closes shut behind us, I untie my hoodie from my waist and tug it back on. We will be back before dawn tomorrow. It's going to be a long night. Your wound is okay? I slip my hand beneath my shirt. My fingers graze the scarred flesh gingerly, but I feel no pain. It's fine. The salve worked really well. Then we will test your stamina. We will run through the woods until we reach the border. I don't think I'll be able to keep up with you. Try. I grimace and he gives me an encouraging smile. Hold your breath. Focus on your vigor. Before I can spit another excuse at him, he whirls around and starts to jog down the valley. Next second, he's broken into a run. When I see how quickly he can move, I gawp. There's no way that I'll keep up with him. Loken's every stride is more of a leaping bound. He's down the valley and rushing towards the distant forest in seconds. With a sigh, I run after him. He pauses at the edge of the tree line to wait for me. This is the first real physical exertion that I've put myself through since waking up in Nylea. I'm quite surprised by how easy it feels. Free from the burden of breathing, my running is definitely more fluid than I expected. I catch up with Loken quickly. I almost stumble into him, trying to stop myself. He has to catch me with his arm outstretched, his expression lukewarm. Again, control yourself this time. I scowl at him, but he just turns around and starts running again, this time into the forest. Once again, I follow his path. Loken continues to run ahead of me and pauses at small intervals through the woods, turning around to judge my speed and balance. Things got trickier as the forest got thicker. I had to be more aware of where to place my foot in order to keep up with him. His running seems more like parkour than anything else. Not once did he show any signs of fatigue. I, meanwhile, was starting to feel the burn. He didn't let up. For another half an hour we ran, until the forest broke into a large clearing, and the mountains were no longer obscured. We will stop for a moment. Okay. Okay, I'm okay. Ugh. Loken scowls at me. Hey, I kept up with you Didn't I? Don't give me that look. Stop panting. For you, it is a waste. I know, but it's like an instinct. When I'm exhausted, I can't stop. He's been especially harsh with his judgment. I'm frankly amazed that I was able to keep pace with him at all. Loken unbuckles his satchel and pulls out a leather flask, tugging the lid off with a pop and taking a mighty swig, then holds it out for me. He's not even slightly out of breath. We just ran flat out for half an hour. Having a husky stamina must be nice. How often do you run? The hound crosses his arms, head cocking as he considers a question. Once every week, but sometimes less and sometimes more. Drink. I take a swig from his water flask, then hand it back to him. I'm not really thirsty, but my throat is quite dry. It is strange. What? You drink, yet you do not eat. I shrug. I don't drink as much as humans normally do. I've stopped questioning it. You have tried eating food? I shake my head, holding the flask back to him. Bite says that my body can't actually digest anything, since it doesn't need to. His gaze goes sideways, to the thick woodlands that coat the mountains around us like fur. Just ahead of us is a rickety fence. It's been slapped together with various scraps of old wood. I frown. Who put this fence up? I did. It was necessary. The borders are invisible without them. Border? This is the... My eyes flick back to the fence, and then the dense forest beyond. Everything past the fence is a black zone? Yes. The mountains and the woodlands beyond seem so... benign. I don't know what I was expecting. I exhale and the forest breathes back. Curious and apprehensive, I approach the fence and lay my hand upon it. The wood is old and frayed, weathered by decay and exposure. Splinters bend against my skin as my fingers flex around the post. It's just the wind. Nothing. My eyes meet the forest beyond, like the sailor peering from the deck of a ship to see nothing. It's just the ocean at midnight, infinitely wide, infinitely deep, and infinitely black. Below me, unseen, there's something huge, bigger than the ocean, groaning, invisible. I squint, but see nothing. No demons, no horrors. It's just a forest. The jaws of the land close around me as I stare. I shiver. I'm not going in there. I take a step back, then feel Loken's paw squeeze my shoulder. Alex, it is not real. I clench my jaw, shutting my eyes for a moment to ground myself. Does everyone feel this way? He shakes his head. The arrogant do not. Come, do not fall behind. Disturbingly casual, Loken steps over the fence. He takes 4 large steps into the black zone, then turns back to me. I haven't moved. Alex, now. I still don't move. He holds his paw out for me. Alex, trust me. I still don't move. Behind Loken, my eyes are fixed on the vacacious black zone. Loken, I don't belong here. There is nothing. Your vigor will protect you. I don't have any vigor. With a sympathetic sigh, Loken steps back to the fence and stands opposite it, looking down at me and blocking my sight of the land. I look up at him. This is your path, Alex. I shut my eyes, nostrils flaring as I draw in a deep, focusing breath. I swing my leg over the fence and hop over into the black zone. Nothing happens. Good. Now we will run. He turns around and breaks into a jog. Nothing happens. I've already come this far, so I start following him. Nothing happens. We get closer to the forest. Nothing happens. The jaw of the land opens wider. Nothing happens. Then, side by side, Loken and I are swallowed by the black. Loken. The air hisses, disturbed by my whisper. Loken, wait. I tread lightly along the crooked, fragile path, as though afraid that it'll crack beneath my feet. The trees flex their talons at me, angered by every step that I take. Ferocious, invisible eyes tear into my flesh. This place wants me to die. Ahead of me, Loken turns and waits for me to catch up. Here, the hound is in his element. This is his domain, and he's indomitable. He's a black runner. I'm just a stumbling child holding him back. Do not fall behind. Shuffling up to him, I try to hide by his side, but he pushes me away. We've been jogging through the black zones for what feels like an hour. In that small time, I've come to see it for what it is, a desolate wasteland of malice. There's something here. It is clear. Is it informed? Or demons? We should go back. He clasps my shoulder with his paw, and I look at him with terrified, alarmed eyes. The usual warmth that comes from his touch is gone. This place is parched of any comfort. There is nothing. Drain your mind of color. It is a forest, Alex. Only this and nothing more. He lets go of me, the fuzzy wisdom offered leaving me no less disturbed. Something is following us. I can't do this. You will. Do not fall behind again. The husky shoves me forward. I stumble, but break into a nervous run at his side. He keeps stride next to me, eyes fixed forward. The watchful eyes of the forest give chase, silently laughing at my apprehension. Bite. Scan.
Again? Alex, there is nothing out there. You're way too tense for accurate results.
Just do it.
Look, I'll carry on scanning for audio anomalies in the background. Just keep running.
I'm constantly expecting to see shiny, serrated metal creatures leering at me from the trees. Ahead of us, I see a run-down structure that floods me with foreboding. Loken slows down, his ears twitching. You see the building ahead of us? I see it. We will search it for salvage. My face pales. Something might be in there. There is nothing. Come. Focus on me. He takes off, swallowing my fear. I chase after him with fixed eyes on his fluffy tail. Soon, a zephyr dwelling comes into view. The house's neglected corpse crystallizes before me. At first, I feel nothing, just a yearning desperation to hide from it. But then, a creeping realization momentarily distracts me from my fear. This is the first sign of my civilization that I've seen. What is this place? I do not know. Come. I frown. Chunks of a structure are missing or torn off, like it's been picked clean by carrion. Hollow windows stare coldly at me. Who lived here? A happy family? A happy human family? Where are they now? When the cascade began, did they stay behind or leave their home to rot, never to return? Loken fearlessly approaches the building and hops through one of the windows. I vault in after him. My boots crunch broken glass as my feet hit the ground. A foul stench oozes from the walls, like stale water that drips from a rain-washed carcass. I will look upstairs. Don't leave me. You must spend time alone to attune your vigor. Do not speak with Bite, or you will fail. I will not be far. Do not leave the building. Stay within these rooms. I am not thinking straight. Deep down, I know why he wants me to be alone, to stand on my own 2 feet in this vacuum of dread. I creep back over the window, peering nervously back outside. There is nothing. But is there? What's lurking behind that tree? Or that forest? What sneering, mocking faces will I catch in my peripheral vision when I'm least expecting it? There's something out there, watching me. It's following us, I know it. Alex. What? I can't focus. Drain your mind of color. I don't know what that means. He looks momentarily irritated, but then his face softens. I will use different words. Alex, you must focus only on the task. But we're nowhere near the Rhinestone dish. No, that is the whole task. Focus only on the small task in this moment. You are looking for salvage within this building. That is the task. Only this and nothing more. When your mind wanders, bring it back to the task. Blur all other thoughts. Only the task. I grit my teeth and try to push through the fog of paranoia clouding my mind. Yeah. What am I looking for? Use your wit. Anything you deem valuable, you take. Won't other Black Runners have stripped this place already? Perhaps, but there is always more. He moves off into another room. Unlike my footsteps, his bare feet are almost completely silent. Now I'm alone. The walls of the house shield me from the glare of the black zones, but unseen danger could still be lurking anywhere. Focus on the small task in this moment. I start moving around the room. I think it may have been a bedroom at some point. The wooden drawers and cabinets have collapsed into heaps of rotten material, totally unusable. My eyes hover over a wardrobe. I briefly consider opening it, but the prospect of finding something within puts me off. The next room I check is no better. A center table lies collapsed, shattered by some great weight. On the opposite doorway I spot 3 jagged marks about chest height, where something has clawed at the rotten wood. Unnerved, I move over and run my hand over the markings, the damp scars moistening my fingertips. What kind of creature did this? I spot something on a nearby shelf that distracts me. It's a music box. I gingerly take it down and place it on the palm of my hand, like I've just rescued an abandoned newborn baby from the wilderness. It's small, no bigger than a tiny matchbox. With trembling fingers, I wind it. I'm amazed to hear that it still works. Mesmerized, my thoughts drift back to the owner of this place. This little box belonged to someone many years ago. Where was I when they died? Trapped, unconscious, inside a pod, hibernating for hundreds of years whilst everyone else was slaughtered? Why was I saved? What happened to me? I hear something. I almost dropped the music box in my horror. Right next door, the room I came from. Something moved. Loken? I hear it shuffle around again, dragging its feet through the broken glass. No. Earlier, Loken's footsteps were silent. It's not him. I think it's best to hide. It follows us. It's coming for me. Scrambling for cover, I crouch behind a shattered cabinet and keep my head low, halting my breathing entirely. I don't dare look. Nothing yet. It's in the room. I hear it moving around. I consider running, but it'll see me for sure. Just keep your eyes closed. Eyes closed and then... Alex? Ah! I jump in shock, then breathe a sigh of relief. Fuck, you scared me. You are okay? I really freaked out. I thought it was him all along. I feel stupid and relieved. I bury my face in my hands and growl. I hate this place. Come. He pulls me to my feet. I can barely bring myself to look at him. I was scared. This is normal. I don't have vigor. You must be patient. Your vigor will attune. Focus only on the task. This and nothing more. I breathe into my cheeks to soothe myself, still clutching the music box tightly in my hand. You have found salvage? I did. Or, well, not really. It's nothing. Swallowing my fear, I step over to him and hold out the music box. Our chief would not be interested in this. I could trade it for something, though. Yes, take it. I did not find any salvage. We will carry on. I look down at the music box in my hand, rubbing my thumbs affectionately over it. I feel... sad. This thing is all that's left of the humans who once lived here. They were real and happy. When I die, that's really it. We're all gone. It's only just starting to hit me now. All that's left of us is junk. It's fucking stupid. It's an injustice. Whoever lived here, they didn't deserve to be forgotten. My fist tightens angrily around the music box. I can't let this place drown me like it drowned everyone else. Focus on the task. This and nothing more. The fear is still there, but alongside it, there is a yearning to see more. Let's go. Loken smiles. I think he understands. With the follow me jerk of his head, he moves back across the room and vaults outside again. Exhaling, I pocket the music box and follow. Wordlessly, we return to our steady running pace. The mocking, watchful land pursues us with its leering gaze again. Silently, with tunnel vision focus, I stay at the hound's side and keep pace with him. I'm trying to ignore the pervasive aurora of the black zone and focus solely on following him. The forest breaks. We run out into more open ground, a range of crooked mountains ahead. Stop. Loken's order startles me as much as I almost trip. I flail my arms madly to keep myself from toppling forwards. What is it? What's out there? His snout is pointed upwards, taking short whiffs of the air. It is clear. We must now ascend the mountain, and then we will reach an old Zephyr village. The Rhinestone dish is within. My head whips anxiously around me as he speaks. I'm still expecting a lurking horror to pounce from the shadows and eviscerate me. You must keep pace with me. This is now the task. Go. He's off, breaking into a controlled run ahead of me. I desperately try to stay by his side, lurching forward and sprinting until I'm back beside him. He is no longer holding his speed back. Our joint footsteps stab at the eerily quiet, provoking the emptiness. We begin to sprint up a steady incline with a short wall of sharp rocks on our right. Loken suddenly leaps onto the rock wall, effortlessly climbing from one stone to the other. He ascends the entire thing with 3 bounds of his mighty stride, whirling around to stare down at me expectingly. Seriously? He's really trying to push me to my limits. Focus on the task. This and nothing more. I try to follow his route up the rock wall, but I am much slower. The sharp rocks dig into my hands, leaving my skin red and tender. When I finally reach the top, Loken has turned around and continued to run before I've even gotten to my feet. Oh, give me a break. He's not even tired.
Don't just stare at him. Keep going. He is testing you, remember?
An arrogant mountain stands ahead of us, but Loken effortlessly navigates us beneath its imposing presence. The woods have given way to spiteful cliffs and sharp, fatal heights. How are we supposed... We climb. You've got to be kidding me. Follow. He sprints towards the cliffs, paying my disbelief no attention whatsoever. Loken runs through a gorge nestled beneath a sleeping mountain, his mighty strides taking him higher and higher onto haphazard boulders and jagged terrain. Here I see the peak of the husky's athleticism. He handles the difficult ground beautifully, the flow of his motion never slowing nor faltering. Eventually the terrain becomes so jagged that he's half running, half climbing. He effortlessly leaps upon cliffs, vaults up treacherous stone, and ricochets from boulder to boulder, all in smooth, fluid maneuvers. His free running is so fluent, the stones and cliffs seem to part in reverence to him. I've never seen anyone move like that.
He's been doing this all his life, remember? This is your first day.
All my focus is going on keeping pace with the assiduous hound. I'm focused on the task, nothing else. The fear of leering faces and stabbing eyes seems laughably compared to the strain Loken is putting me through. Is this my vigor finally kicking in? I barely remember that I'm still inside the black zone. My efforts to keep pace with Loken reach a dead end when I reach a rock wall in the gorge. Water beads from the top and falls into a vast, hungry lake below. With zero hesitation, the husky jumps on the sheer, vertical cliff and hooks his paws into it, leaping and bounding upwards like a primate. I gawp at his breathtaking agility. Loken makes the perilous climb in only a few moments, leaving me staggered down below. He seriously expects me to do that? There's no way. I'm going to have to cheat. Bite, get us up there.
Scanning for a route. 1 moment. Got it. Follow that path. I'll control your movements for the trickier jumps.
Okay, together.
Together.
Bite's guiding impulses kick mid-flight as I run up the cliff, wiring my mind with precise instructions. I leap onto the jagged rock and cling to it. Bite's guidance is faultless. We start to climb. My hands start to sting as the stones cut into them, but I ignore the pain. Bite keeps my arms and legs moving correctly, whilst I keep my eyes fixed on the route upwards. Just don't look down. Bite knows what he's doing. Just don't look down. Together, it doesn't take us much longer than it took Loken. We roll onto our feet as we reach the height of the cliff and land on solid ground. We did it. Keeping my momentum going, I spring back to my feet and continue to bound forward, barely looking where I'm going. Yeah. In my enthusiasm, I almost run straight off another sheer drop. Loken's arms jump out in front of me, blocking my path safely. Stumbling backwards to safety, I rein myself back in and look at Loken. He's perfectly calm, still as a statue, staring at the scenery before us. Look at it. I do so. From here, we have a clear view of around us. The mountainous land is unobscured, and the full extent of the foreboding landscape is revealed to me. It's no less leering and menacing than before, but a sense of focus and tranquility washes over me. The crippling dread is not gone. It's still wary, but not paralyzed with fear. It's a nice view. Focus on this. And nothing more. Besides me, the hound's tail starts to sway. You are learning. I look out at the vast mountains of Ilea. Even in the black zone, it's beautiful. There aren't any lashing jaws, no prying eyes, no grasping talons, just the wind, the cold, the sky, and ourselves. I focus on that. There's nothing here to be afraid of right now. Your vigor is strong. I feel better. I can think clearly. What happened? Is my vigor attuned now? It is, and it's not. Even as Black Runners, we must be cautious. The darkness is broad. We may still become lost to it. To run 2 zones is a meditation. It is one small step, and then another, and then another. Some Black Runners attempt the larger steps. They may stumble. For this, there are consequences. Even with the risks, we must walk the unknown that others cannot. Why? If we do not, all will be forgotten. Even if the clans believe that they want this, they do not. I look back out at the scenery. I don't really understand, but I don't think that I'm supposed to. So, demons are definitely real, right? I don't see any. They are real. You will hear them. They are very vocal. Be wary of their tricks. They make sounds to imitate their prey. As he explains it, I think back to the limb that he has in the lodge. My mind dwells on it. I wait for the freakout to come. It doesn't. I'm fine. How do I kill them? You do not. Then, how do I escape them? You flee. I nod in understanding. We are close. Zephyr ruins are over the next hill. The Rhinestone dish is just beyond that. You are okay? My brow tenses. I wouldn't say that I'm okay, but I'm learning to breathe through the suffocating horror exuded by the black zones. Yeah, let's keep going. Loken nods proudly at me. He gently pats and squeezes my shoulder as he passes. I smile when I feel the familiar warmth of his touch once again. It's back. How many demons have you seen? Loken hums thoughtfully under his breath as we stroll next to each other. Few. I do not look behind me when I run. I wince. Alex, explain your knowledge of them. Huh? Your knowledge. You are the last Zephyr. Right, but, what do you want me to explain? You say that there are constructs of these A and I intellects? Oh, that. Yeah. Artificial intelligence. Just AI for short. And honestly, I thought so at first, but now, I don't know. Explain. An AI is a set of instructions that can solve problems. Really advanced AI might be able to, think, talk, just like Byte. I am confused. So, remember how we could create a mind, same way that we might paint a picture? Now imagine that I put that mind in a body made of metal. Loken's muzzle scrunches up in distaste. You are talking nonsense. Just hear me out. What if that AI I just created decided to rebel? No, the Zephyr did not create these demons. He won't ever entertain the thought. But Loken, in my times, demons were just myths with lots of different iterations. They're not real. I think it just happens to be what you guys decide to call. No. I ponder his stubbornness curiously. Why are you so sure? And AI intelligence is a mind created, as a picture is painted. Yeah? No painter would create this picture. They would die. I blink at him. But they did die, Loken. Hmm. We go quiet for a moment. Well, even with my theory, I still can't explain how they mess with your head. Do not try. That is the path of the informed. Well, there might be a logical explanation unless... A thought occurs to me. It's something that I'm silently pondered for a while. Is magic real here? His face tightens. Magic? Like the supernatural? Explain. Like, things being possible that shouldn't be? Natural order being manipulated? You are talking nonsense. I roll my eyes. I guess that's a question for Aeon. Okay. Thank you, Alex, for your thoughts. It is as I said, you have much to offer. Alex, you believe. He trails off. What? It is a fantasy. Tell me. Loken blushes. You believe that they can be stopped? What? The demons? I laugh at his absurdity of it. How the hell would I know? I have no idea. Like, none. At all. The Zephyr ruins are behind this hill. We crossed the last mountain peak, and the settlement came into view. I wasn't prepared for what I saw. What? My face falls at the sight before me. Loken catches my sudden distress and frowns. You are okay? I... Seeing a single broken down home in the woods was one thing, but an entire town? The extent of the cascade is laid out before me. The structures have been strangled by nature and desecrated beyond any recognition. There is a dry stench of decaying concrete and crumbling metal. There's nothing here. It's a tomb. Worse than I could have imagined. We're dead. All of us. Extinct. You are not okay. Loken steps over and squeezes my shoulder again to comfort me. No one can tell me how it happened. It was a long time ago. It's only been 3 days for me. My people are dead. Look, everything's dead. How? How did this happen? Loken despondently withdraws his paw. Sorry. It's just... a lot. I thought, since you have no memory... Loken hesitates uncomfortably. He has no idea how to console me. They are just buildings that contain salvage. Only this and nothing more. Something he says causes something to stir within me. Something subtle. I barely notice it. Only this and nothing more? That's all that we are now? Trinkets and rubble? I'm angry. They don't deserve to be forgotten. He tilts his head sideways. But we must be cautious with what we remember. There may be consequences. My fist clenches. Nobody even wants to remember us. They're too scared. How the hell did this happen, Loken? It's not fair. I want answers. Not just for me, for everyone. Loken gives me a sideways glance. His eyes seem to narrow very slightly. Come, we must complete this task to earn the support of the Automonks. We have time to search for salvage too. Together we trek down the hill and into the ruined Zephyr Town. A sense of abandoned melancholy lingers. Loken and I tread through tightly packed factories, all of it smothered by ruin. The town is a skeleton. Walls are smashed in and out. Roads are cracked beyond traversal. Rust and rot have crept around every neglected building and post. We move side by side in pensive silence. Our footsteps crunch on the crumbling cobblestone. The wind sings a haunting tune. Loken seems tuned into his surroundings, his ears flickering and his eyes sharp. You are recognizing things? Somberly, I shake my head. Bite can probably tell us no. I fix him with a weary glare. He can't scan things, otherwise we'll never know. He will lie. I shake my head, frustrated. How can I get him to trust someone that he can't see, hear, or understand? My gaze goes skyward to the tallest structure, somehow still standing after the cascade. What can you see, Bite?
A boring mutt with a shitty attitude.
Brilliant, now focus. Tell me what happened here.
Well, this town had a large industrial estate. There would have been a lot of people working and living here. I am seeing external and internal detonations, ammunition casings, and incendiary burns. There's evidence of blockades being built in the streets. There was a last stand here.
So the cascade was violent?
Going by what I see, it is possible that the Zephyr didn't just vanish. They were massacred.
There was a war. You know this? Loken looks at me, his pace remaining constant. There are signs of a battle. I think my people were exterminated. The husky scowls. War makes bodies. There are none. Humans' remains from the cascade have never been found. My face scrunches up in confusion. When demons kill, what do they do with the bodies? Loken looks uneasy. Sometimes they are taken. Sometimes they are left. Other times, they are displayed. You believe the cascade was caused by demons? The Zephyr would have hidden outside the black zones to escape them. Maybe they did. I assume that's how people survived. No Zephyr survived the cascade. Well then, who formed the clans? Were bipeds part of the Zephyr? The information of the clans is beyond memory. You did not mention this war before now. That's because Bite only just figured it out. And there's a scowl. No. Yes. His throat rumbles. Do not dig too deep, Alex. There are consequences. Before I can answer, he gestures for me to follow with a flick of his head and increases his pace.
You need to find a way to make him trust me.
Give him time. He'll come around. I exhale, irritated, and follow the abrasive hound. After a while, Loken gestures to a nearby warehouse. The giant metal sliding doors are bent and collapsed. Half of the brick walls have caved inwards and the structure is overgrown with vegetation. We have time to search for salvage. We will try in here. What are you expecting us to find? These buildings sometimes have good steel. Our workers can smelt it down to make weapons and tools. Look for large cables. They sometimes contain copper. It is valuable. Come. We march onto the warehouse side by side and pull the mangled metal doors open together. I don't think we're gonna find anything in here. It's a dump. Perhaps not. We will search anyway. You will search in this area, I will search in the next. Is it a good idea for us to separate here? This place is much bigger than the old house. Being alone will strengthen your vigor. There are no demons here. Listen. I do so. We're both silent for a second. Tell me what you can hear. Nothing. Then it is clear. You will hear them long before you see them. He seems pretty confident. All right. I'll search here. I don't feel anxious about separating anymore. Wanting answers for my species has made me infinitely more focused. Okay, use your wit and take your time. Remain in this warehouse. I will return here soon. Rather awkwardly, I start shuffling around like a child lost in a crowded market. I have no idea what I'm looking for. I sweep some cracked debris aside with my foot and quickly decide that I am not going to find anything by myself. Alright, bite. What can you see?
Dirt. Some more dirt over there. On top of that dirt is more dirt. Nearby, extra dirt. Also, dirt. You see those windows? Guess what they are covered in?
Dirt?
No, moss. But also dirt. Wait, there is an anomaly. Can you kneel down? Get a closer look at that floor.
Confused, I do so. The rubble creaks beneath my feet as I kneel. Most of the floor is covered in broken debris and decaying rubbish. And dirt.
Some of the material on this floor is foreign to this part of Ilea. Rub your fingers across that piece of glass.
This seems like a good way to get an infection.
I said to rub your finger on it, not to pick it up and shave yourself.
I do as he suggests, bringing it up to my eyeline after smearing it over the broken glass. My fingertip is covered in grime. Ah, yes. Dirt.
That isn't dirt. It's fertilizer that's been brought in from outside. There is a trail of it leading through this warehouse.
Oh, was someone else here?
Follow that trail. It goes through that doorway on the far end.
At the far end of the warehouse is a metal door. I approach it cautiously, trying to listen out for any unusual threats. When I hear none, I head inside to follow the mysterious fertilizer trail. It leads to a smaller, rundown room. I'm guessing it used to be a bathroom, but something immediately catches my eyes. Whoa. There's a big flower.
Get closer. Let me scan.
The sinks have been filled with pure brown soil. Growing in each one is a spectacularly huge dome-shaped flower. Each is worryingly tall with bright orange petals clasped within the sunlit blooms are pale blue glistening seeds. All the rubble in here has been swept away, and there are several holes in the roof allowing sunlight to shine onto the sinks. The room stinks of chemicals. Someone has set up a makeshift laboratory on the far side, laden with pots, pans, salvaged cooking utensils, and breathing apparatuses.
No results. I don't have them in my database.
That's weird. Bite can normally recognize anything. Curiously, I lean closer to the flower. I have to admit that they're quite beautiful. Each petal is the size of my hand. They have gorgeous scent like boiling honey. I reach forward.
Whoa, don't touch it.
I wasn't going to.
Bullshit, you weren't. I saw you. I cannot tell you what they are, but their composition is similar to Papaver somniferum, the opium poppy, but it's far more potent. Those petals are loaded with toxins.
What kind of toxins?
Hallucinogens. Psilocybins, most notably. Very concentrated. I've never seen anything like it.
I scowl when I suddenly realize the obvious. It's Dalnilly. This is a Sugarcooks hideout.
Oh, you might be right.
How come you can't scan it?
What if Dawnlily is a new species that emerged during the Cascade? We'd have been in our hibernation pod, so it's new to us both.
I don't see how an entire species of plant could appear so quickly, let alone one this big. We need to warn Loken. I turn back to go find the husky. Ah, what the? No sooner had I left the bathroom-turned-greenhouse than a pair of unfamiliar paws have me by the scruff of my neck. I flail and find myself looking up into the eyes of a bestial female hyena, her teeth bared furiously at me. What is this thing? Hey, get off! It talks? Help! Demon! Demon! With my teeth bared, I throw a wild punch at her, my knuckles connecting with her muzzle at the wrong angle and my skin tears at her fangs. She barely even notices. I flail my hand to try and shake off the pain. Ah! What are you made of? She throws me to the ground with a horrible crunch. I stumble backwards and see my attackers. Alongside the hyena is another female, a weasel, similarly poised for a fight. Behind them stands a male canine, a Doberman, roughly the same size as Loken but far less built, with a longer muzzle and a nastier snarl. The three of them stagger backwards when I see them, fists raised defensively and eyes wide with alarm. They're wearing rags that look plucked straight from the Zephyr ruins. All three are Lilith and weary, with bloodshot eyes and trembling hands. I'm reminded of Barrow, with their withered physique and gaunt face, but there's something more to it. They seem blurred and lethargic, almost completely sapped of life. What is it? Demon, kill it! Their voices are slurred and tense. I raise my hands to them. Wait, I'm not a demon. It lies. Just kill it. Hang on, just listen. They don't let me speak. The hyena charges at me madly, with teeth bared, swinging her wobbly fist right at my face. She's bigger and stronger than me by miles. A punch to the face could knock me straight out, maybe even kill me. I flinch in horror. I don't even have time to bring up my hands to defend myself before. What happened? The hyena's fist is still flying at the same speed, but somehow everything seems slower? Time is dilated. My mind is still operating normally, but I perceive everything at a snail's pace.
That was close.
You're doing this?
Sure am. I boosted your mental chronometry. I started by enhancing the neurons in your frontal cortex, parietal, basal ganglia, cerebellum, and hippocampus.
What's the puny human brain version?
You're just thinking faster. Superhuman reflexes.
Well, that's, how does that help? I don't know how to fight.
Relax. We've got this. We'll bring your right hand around in a circular motion to block the punch. Then we will turn to the side and let her go past us. By my calculation, she will lose balance and hit the ground. I'll help you with the movements.
Is this going to hurt?
Nah, we'll be fine.
I meant her.
Oh, well, a little. Estimation, mild bruising on the tibia and patella areas. She will be okay.
Bite's abilities continue to push credibility, but once again, there's no point questioning it. Neither of us can explain it. We are what we are. I feel Bite sync together with my mind, and we move together in our perceived slow motion. It's amazing. A rush of air kisses my face as we twist and deflect the hyena with pinpoint accuracy. She careens past and collapses forward, just as Bite promised.
Heads up, weasel incoming.
I hear her heavy footsteps. She's charging headlong at us like a berserker, aiming to tackle me around the waist. It's so strange. I know time hasn't really slowed, but it really feels like she's moving in a slow motion. I can't describe it.
Calculating. Okay, as soon as she's close, we're going to jump up and twist. Use her low stance against her. We'll roll right over her and back, together.
We arch upwards and twist around her. She rolls beneath us and goes flying into the stunned hyena, the two of them crashing into a heap together. Bite adjusts my footing automatically and I land without so much as a wobble. This is so easy. Will she be okay?
Perfectly fine.
Hey, we can actually fight. I never imagined. Ah! Fuck, I forgot about the Doberman. Pain erupts from my head as I feel his fist crack against the side of my skull. Bite catches it at the last moment and jerks my head to the left, saving me from taking the punch dead on. I avoid serious injury, but I'm still struck off my feet and knocked into the dirt again. Ow.
Sorry, I tried to move you best I could.
Thanks. You probably saved my face. It's the first time Bite has taken control of my body without my permission. First, I think nothing of it. I trust him. Wait, stop. I'm a black runner. What? I come to my senses, seeing the Doberman standing over me threateningly. He's holding an old, jagged knife tightly in his trembling paw. I'm not a demon, you maniac. I'm a black runner acolyte. Behind me, the weasel and hyena untangle themselves and get to their feet. Both are totally startled. The Doberman snarls at me. You're no biped. I keep forgetting people don't know what a human looks like. I get up to my feet, causing them to recoil in alarm, the Doberman brandishing his weapon at me. Whoa, hey, take it easy. I'm a human, okay? Nah, Kaya said that they're extinct. It's a trick. He's lying. It's not a trick. I won't hurt you. Just back off. Unhindered, the Doberman rounds on me. I flinch fearfully, and he immediately does the same. I'm not afraid of you, demon. His voice suggests otherwise. I frown, studying the three of them, and try to discern their condition. Their pelts have lost color. Their eyes are shrunken, and their paws are shaking. Bite, what's wrong with them? Are they informed?
I don't think so, but they are still unstable. Their physical appearance suggests chronic insomnia, hypervigilance, and impaired cognition. They're stuck in a persistent state of fight or flight.
It was exactly how it felt earlier. I couldn't imagine a worse hell than being stuck in that mindset permanently. No wonder the Black Zones drive people mad. Maybe I can talk them down? Look, I'm here with my mentor. We've got business at the Rhinestone dish. We'll just leave, okay? You're here for our stash. I don't care if you're cooking Dawn sugar. We just stopped to look for salvage. He knows about it. Kill him! There's a rush of movement behind me as the weasel attempts to grab me around the neck. Bite's reflex boost kicks in just in time as his code snaps into sync with my mind. I don't want to hurt them, but we're going to have to fight again. Let's fight offensively, but feel really bad about it.
Let's get a weapon.
What? Where? Bite kicks a long metal pipe off the ground, then catches it deftly in midair for us with his calculated precision, like a polearm. He swings the pipe deftly at our attacker, and it cracks against her face. She collapses, spitting blood. Oh gods, I'm so sorry. The knife-wielding Doberman and the hyena attack me at once. Bite and I spin our pole expertly around and batter the hyena in the face, then swipe her feet out from behind her. Sorry. The Doberman lashes wildly. I jump away, but the blade still nicks the palm of my left hand, cutting through my glove. A bolt of pain jumps up my arm. The knife flies from the Doberman's hand as Bite and I strike his wrist. We spin our polearm back around and smack his muzzle. He stumbles back, reeling. Sorry. I'm sure you'll be okay. I wince guiltily when I see the metal pole has been dented by the Doberman's skull. All three Sugarcooks get steadily to their feet, completely dazed from my counterattacks. We've really messed them up. They fearfully back away. The Doberman scrambles for his knife, grabbing it from the ground before I can stop him. I can't believe how easy that was. Not only can we fight, we're damn good at it. Only a demon would move like that. We need to kill it. I need to defuse this. These people are unstable. I drop my makeshift weapon with a clang, flickering blood from my hand and holding my arms up defensively. Easy, guys, easy. I don't want to fight, just tell me what you're doing out here. Do you three belong to a clan? We'll never tell you. Shut up. Stop talking to it. Guys, I can help you. I'm with my mentor. We can guide you out. It lies. Come on, all together, kill it. All at once they start to round on me. Bite and I ready ourselves to fight again. Stop. Loken's assertive low voice booms from wall to wall, shattering the resolve of the Sugarcooks. He approaches them from behind. They whirl around and stare, each one of them turning to a statue at the side of him. I'm reminded of the day that I first met Loken. It's the exact same scowl, caustic and scathing, a glare of absolute disdain. Move away from the human. I wince. This could get ugly and I don't want anyone to get hurt. I mean, no more than I've already hurt them anyway. Loken, they're not thinking straight. It's not their fault. The weasel lowers her voice to the others. Oh, that's Loken, the Draconi runner Kai's told us about. I know who he fucking is, shut up! Loken's eyes widen. You were with Kai's clan? Then you are Riptide exiles. None of them reply. I'm reminded of a teacher angrily scolding a group of guilty students. You are Sugarcooks, and this is Draconi land. This is my land. All of you will leave it now. The Doberman takes exception. He takes a brave step towards Loken. We're not leaving, mongrel. You don't own the Black Zones. We've been here for months. We can't go back. Kais will hang us dead. This is all that we have left, okay? We trade Dawn sugar with some of the nomadic clans through the borders, in return for food. But there are demons here. How have you survived this long? The hyena snarls at me with a vitriolic glare. I flinch. They're not real. You know that isn't true. You thought that I was one. Shut up, shut up! I shake my head. They're unhinged and they won't listen. I don't know if I can help them. Loken, let's just leave. This isn't a task. Fine, we will. Suddenly the husky's eyes are locked on me. Alex? What? You are bleeding? I look down at my bleeding hand and wince. It's fine, Loken. We just... they were scared. I'm fine. Loken ignores me. His glare returns to the Sugarcooks with increased venom. Now he looks really pissed. You harmed my acolyte! Shit. He's a demon! Yes, they both are. Cut the small one's throat first. Any chance of Loken backing down evaporates. The hound's fists clench at the Doberman. I touch his arm to try and soothe them. Loken pushes me behind him and advances on them. Back off! No. We're not going anywhere. You harmed my acolyte. Your Dawn Sugar harms my clan. You will leave. The Doberman thrusts his knife in Loken's direction. This is our turf. I'll kill you. I'll cut your fucking guts. I'll kill you. Do not pull a knife on me. You will not enjoy it. The Doberman bares his fangs, swinging the knife wildly. He charges at Loken. Loken, stop! The hound's assault is brutal and utterly without compassion. He gives the Doberman no mercy. I push past Loken and plant both hands on his chest, pushing the husky back with all my might. You made your fucking point. Stop it! He guiltily keeps his eyes away from me. I turn to see the Doberman's condition and my blood turns cold. I've never been exposed to violence like this before. Bite? How bad is it?
Oblique fracture in the humerus, severe. Posterior shoulder dislocation, dental intrusion on 7 teeth, and the loss of 4 others. Severe fractures of the mandible, zygomatical maxillary center and orbital zones. Estimated recovery time with primitive treatment, 5 to 6 months. I can guide you through some eminent treatment options if you want to help him.
The others rush to the fallen companion, attempting to get him to his feet. The Doberman is barely conscious, only howling in pain when they nudge his shattered arm. Help? I move towards them. Here, I can help. We can treat the... Get away! I flinch, disturbed as both of them bare their teeth at me like I'm some kind of savage. I want to help. Demon! Demon! They manage to haul the barely conscious Doberman to his feet, the hyena taking him over their shoulder. The weasel snatches the Doberman's discarded blade and points it at me, her arm trembling. Demon! She backs away, snarling and spitting like a cornered beast. I just stare, my hands raised and fingers splayed to show that I mean no harm. Behind me, Loken is still as a statue. The pair of them shuffle out, taking the critically injured Doberman with them. I'm left with Loken. With the Sugarcooks gone, he finally drops his stone-faced facade and sighs, sadly. Deep down, I understand the Doberman was hostile beyond reason, but all I can picture is Loken's face twisted in brutality. You don't think that was a bit much? Loken whines something incoherent, clearly upset by my disapproving tone. He attacked. You could have just disarmed him or something. We could have walked away. They would have followed. They were Sugarcooks. Dawn Sugar is dangerous. This isn't about Dawn Sugar. Soon as you saw that I'd been cut, you wouldn't back down. This is you being overprotective. Again. He snarls. No, this was a reasonable action. You have not dealt with those afflicted by the Black Zones before. They would have followed us. They would have killed you, and then me. They would have harmed others. You must be ruthless, Alex, if you wish to survive this path. When they are this far gone, violence becomes their mother tongue. I don't know, Loken. Maybe you did the right thing, but you could have just disarmed him and... He stares at me expectantly. After all the compassion that I've seen in him, this was just a darker, violent side that I don't want to think about. Maybe I'm being naive. The guy was trying to kill him. This world isn't going to be sunshine and roses. You just scared me, okay? I never seen anything like that, let alone from you. The husky's ears flatten backwards. He looks away. I did not mean to frighten you. I am sorry. I did not enjoy doing that. He suddenly winces, flexing his shoulder painfully. I frown and look down at his paw. The left side one is pretty bloodied up. I'm not sure if it's his blood or the Doberman's. I sigh. Paw. Paw, give it to me. I am fine. I narrow my eyes, finally sick of his stubbornness. Give me your fucking paw. Now! Loken seems really surprised by my assertiveness. He sheepishly holds his huge mitt out for me. I take his paw in both hands, with the knuckles facing upwards, and I run my fingers through his silky smooth, bloodied pelt. It is bite, scan.
There's some nasty skin damage where his knuckles hit those teeth. He will be okay, but we should disinfect the wound.
Bite says you're fine, but you'll need to disinfect this. I gently wipe Loken's bloody knuckles with the edge of my hooded sleeve. He winces, baring his teeth. I do not care what Bite says. I am fine. After I shoot him a warning glare, he goes quiet again. At this point, I think that he finds my scowls far more intimidating than I find his. I don't spend too long wiping blood from Loken's paw. In fact, after about a minute, I realize I'm just holding it. A hand. What? Show me your hand. Now. Grinning at his parroting of me, I hold my hand up so that he can inspect the cut. It's still bleeding. He carefully takes my hand and turns it, palm facing upwards, and his own. The blade has cut you. You are okay. I have brought bandages. Keep still. Sure. Still cradling my hand in his huge paw, he dives into his satchel with the other paw and roots around, taking a roll of linen from it. Loken wipes my skin clean with a cloth, then pulls a tiny glass bottle from his satchel. He pops the cork off and pours the transparent fluid onto the cut. Ah! Be still. I grimace through the pain of the disinfectant, watching as Loken wraps the bandage around my palm. Just like how we met. When you bandaged me, the day that we met? This wound is not severe. You will not require stitches. I laugh. I know, I was just saying it reminded me of that. Feels like a long time ago. He tightens the bandage, then goes still. Beneath my hand, I feel the paw that he's cradling me with flex. His fingers squeeze me gently. It is like that day. We both look down at our hands, laying on top of each other. I think about our little moment this morning and remember feeling him pressing himself into my back. He's a good hound. Then I remember his face just a moment ago as he beat the Sugarcook. Hey Loken? Alex. You don't do that kind of thing to people a lot, do you? He shrinks guiltily. I do not. I was concerned that they would harm you, and I am responsible for you. You are important. Unable to resist temptation, I squeeze his hand and feel him subtly squeeze my back. The rush of warmth I get being close to him like this is becoming familiar, but no less intoxicating. Don't worry about me. It turns out that I can defend myself. Explain. I fought them off, all three of them. I was doing fine by myself. You are capable of fighting? I am. Good at it too. Then you have strong vigor. You did not tell me this before. I did not know. To be fair, Bite did all the work. Bite did this? Yep. If it wasn't for him, they'd have killed me before you arrived. I told you, he's on our side. He's quiet for a moment. Thank you. To Bite. Tell him that I said thank you. My eyes boggled. Did you just approve of him? I did. He has protected you. That is good.
This does not make us friends, dog.
I smile. He still doesn't like you. But I think he appreciates your thanks. Okay. And since I can fight, you don't have to worry about me being in danger all the time. He looks confused. But... what? You are small. I roll my eyes, grinning. So what if I'm small? You will always be small. And you just like being that big alpha hound, don't you? He pauses for a moment, then looks down at our hands, resting atop each other. Then his grip tightens. He tugs me ever so slightly closer and gives me a salacious grin. I do like that. Ugh, that's a really weird face. Whoa, where did that come from? Was it something I said? There's a peculiar hunger behind the look that he's giving me. It's like I'm his next meal. His eyes narrow at me, and I stare back. He's never looked at me with this way, with this intensity, with this heat. I feel so small. I should act more like a big alpha hound to you. He's making no effort to hide the intent behind his eyes. He's mentally undressing me. No, consuming me. I just know it. You should, maybe. Ew, please don't. Stop. I think you would like that. Maybe I would. Please stop. His head tilts in a lavish judgment, sizing me up. Your face is red. Alex, now is not the time for this. We should keep moving. Oh, right. He lets go of my hand. Come, the Rhinestone dish is not far. He swiftly pads towards the exit. I'm left stunned. He's never spoken to me like that before. It was charged, heated, and electric. Behind it, there was so much pent-up hunger. There was none of his usual insecurity rooted with his dominance there. He sounded so self-assured, so confident. It was yet another side to him that I haven't seen before. Fuck, hearing him talk like that, I can only imagine what he's like when he's really turned on. What would happen if I teased him just a little? I wonder why he backed off. Did I say something wrong? Coughing awkwardly, I follow him back outside. I need to keep moving before I get a boner. I'm pretty sure it's because you're in the middle of a black zone, you idiot. It is not far. And that's where I'm gonna leave it for today. So, a lot of stuff happened. Alex was taken on his first run. It went better than expected. Well, kind of. The whole running part, not so much the fighting part. Obviously, Alex comes as a package deal with Bite, and Loken has to get used to that because for the foreseeable future, there's no way to get Bite out of his head, probably. So it's probably more advantageous for Alex to use Bite as a tool, as Loken would use a tool, for whatever it is that he needs to use tools for. So having Bite, scout out, offer a little bit more, in the way of defense, or at least for spatial awareness or something, probably helps, especially because if it wasn't for Bite, Alex would not have been able to figure out that the little warehouse thing that they, went into was a Sugarcook den place. And that's saying something because you would have thought that Loken would have been able to sniff it out. But no. Bite was the one that had to, find the fertilizer, which led them to the Dawn Lily. Well, which led Alex and him to the Dawn Lily, which, had them encounter the Sugarcooks, but, couldn't really do anything about that. Not only that, but after the encounter, when they decided to attack Alex because, they were high off their rocker, Bite was the one that basically sprung into action and helped Alex defend himself. So yeah, Bite is useful. And Loken, has to learn to, I guess, appreciate that and, allow Alex to rely on him more. Anywho, also, Loken's reactions to Alex, being cut. For me, it is a overreaction, probably, but I see it more as an overreaction of this possessive person seeing somebody that he has claimed ownership over being hurt, but I also see it as somebody who finally has like somebody that he can either call a friend or more, being hurt, so obviously he's gonna react that way. What else? It gives me vibes of all those other possessive canines, but you can also kind of see where it's coming from, for at least in Loken's case. So yeah, it's not totally, creepy, weird, but like, yeah. Anyways, so comments, write down what you think so far of the story, and for the people that obviously have already gone further past, keep your mouth shut, or else I will hide your comments. And I don't care, like, oh, I already read past it, I already know what's going on. Like, if that's all you're gonna write, then shut up. Don't write anything, just shut your mouth. But yeah, so write in the comments what you think, and thank you all for watching / listening. If you would like to play Soulcreek yourself, you can do so by going down into the link in the description for the presumably Soulcreek Twitter page, which should have a direct link where you can download Soulcreek from itch.io. If not, then just go to itch.io and download it from there. And I will also include their coffee, which should be their only source of funding, I think. I don't know if they have a Patreon because I haven't seen it, so yeah. But yeah, so that'll all be down in the description along with my coffee. And just as a reminder, the only reason I'm reading this is because you guys decided to donate. So yeah, if you wanna, keep motivating me to read this, then donate down into my in my coffee. You know what I mean. Anyways, so yeah. But yeah, so I guess that's it for now, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.